I recently uploaded a remake we made of the film Euphoria, and this was done because the team at Dehancer asked me to review their app. They told me to be honest with you guys. So for me, I didn't want to just pop the app and see what it does. It's a film emulation app, which I think there's a lot of YouTubers who've made videos on this, who've spoken highly about it in terms of what you can do in terms of color grading. So for me, what I wanted to focus on in my review of the app is how applicable it is, for an everyday person. I don't consider myself a top-notch colorist, but I am someone who considers himself a good cinematographer. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do was to shoot a film like Euphoria. I think that you can see it in the way that I light, you can see it in the way that I shoot, in the way that I choose some of my shots, and my camera movement. But one of the challenges that I have is I cannot afford buying film stock and going through the process of developing it and turning it into digital and all that stuff that goes into it. Euphoria, essentially season 2, was shot on Kodak H-Chrome, which is custom made for them on a 35 milliliter. So like I can't really afford that as well, even if I wanted to. So when the team reached out to me and they were like, yeah, we would like you to review and let us know what you think, be honest, I was like, oh, okay, I've been looking for this. So back in like May, we made a scene from Euphoria season 2, episode 5. It's one of my favorite episodes because of the acting. Zendaya is just on a different level. So we took that scene, I got a bunch of friends, we came up with an idea of how we'll do it. So I ended up directing that little scene we did, which should pop up. And then when I got Dehancer on it, I realized I had the opportunity. So I had kept the footage for a long time because I didn't know how to edit and how to color grade it, because we had shot it during the day, and back then we didn't have light, so we're mainly using natural light, and I just didn't know how to make it Euphoria-esque, in terms of, so I was waiting to at least improve my color grading. So when I got this app, it allowed me to do the one thing that I'd always wanted to do, and that is to have film emulation. And for me, it's quite amazing, because this thing, the moment that you put it on, right, the moment that it's on your node, you start to see the effect. It announces itself like, okay, I'm here, what do you want to do? And one thing that I like about working with it, I wish I had it for other softwares, because I think in Final Cut it'll be different, even in Premiere, but in DaVinci you get different controls of the app, so you get to see what you're doing and what each thing does. You get to experiment and see your footage as you're working on it, and that's how I ended up getting the look that I got. Whilst the Kodak H-Chrome that they have didn't give me it wasn't what Euphoria looks like, I was able to play with it, and I ended up choosing Kodak Vision 250. I think 500 is the one I ended up going with, and just because it gave me the look, and then I created my own, because the rooms that we have, the lighting that we had is quite different from what Euphoria has. On Euphoria, they shoot on low ISO, and then they light the crap out of it, whereas for us, we didn't have lights, and we were shooting at 800 ISO on a Sony FX3 with a Sigma photo lens. So there's a lot of differences there, but one thing that I like about the app is it gets you there, right? It takes you close as it can to shooting on film. So yeah, it got me as close to film as possible, and then that's how we ended up with the footage we did. The one thing that I would say, obviously it's film emulation, it's not film. You will not get the film, because I think one thing that a lot of us mistaken with making a film, right, the process of making footage. For me, I believe everything is in the process. So if you're gonna make a film on film, it's about the experience. It's about picking up the camera. It's about having the raw film, setting it up, making your shots, having 2 minutes, they say, of the shot, and then that experience, how the actors act, because they know there's no time to make mistakes. It's an expensive mistake that you make. So there's a lot of things that go into the experience of making film on film and making film on digital, whereby you can have 1,000 shots. You can do a lot of things and then come in post and do your own thing. from me in terms of should you get Dehancer, I think that this is something that if you're into the look, if you are into film, like if you understand, if you like the grain, I think it's a great app. It's a great tool to have to help with your color grading. I don't think that it solves all the problems. I don't think that you can say I will never shoot on film. I will just use Dehancer, but I think it does the job. And I think for an everyday person who doesn't have the time, and just wants that feel and that look that just separates your footage, I think it's a worthy app to get, and also it just separates you, especially if you're a colorist. I know that some people complain about the prices from the research that I've done. If you're interested in Dehancer, your Uncle Kevin is here to hook you up. I can hook you up with a 10% discount. Just use the code Uncle Kevin, all caps, and Dehancer say they will hook you guys up with a 10% discount if you use that code, Uncle Kevin. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions about Dehancer and what you thought about the episode that we took